kenapa kau ada kat sini?
Saya nak tahu bapak saya mati untuk apa, Tuan?
Tak apa. Hari ni kita orang family you.
Yeah, bros forever. Come on.
Selama kau tak ada ni, aku dah belajar buat sendiri. Semua mangsa-bangsa hero sama.
Hello everyone, we are really excited to talk about the movie Paskal today. So let's start off with a synopsis.
Paskal, also known as Pasukan Khas Laut, is inspired based on actual event of the Royal Malaysia Navy Special Force Team during the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Angola in 1998 and the successful rescue of the hijacked MV Bunga Laurel third vessel in 2011. The movie follows Lieutenant Commander Arman Rahman, a brave and disciplined soldier who leads high-risk mission to protect the country. As a Paskal officer, Arman had to sacrifice a lot of time with his mother, who did not support Arman's decision to join the military. This is because she was afraid of losing Arman like she had lost her husband once before. Arman's father was also a Paskal member and died while on a mission. This painful past prompted Arman to follow in his father's footsteps. In addition, Arman struggled emotionally with his mother, and when Jeb, his former teammate, betrayed the entire unit due to his disappointment and frustration. Thus, Arman is not just fighting for the mission, he's also fighting for the loyalty, justice, and honor of his team and the country. Finally, Paskal is not just an action movie, it highlights the true patriotism, true sacrifice, and the emotional burden carried by those who serve their country. Next, I will present the two main stakeholders and their stake. Firstly, Arman bin Rahman. His stake is to protect the nation and take full responsibility for the safety and success of his team. From the movie, there are many dangerous missions that he and team have to rescue, especially during critical mission when Somali pirates hijack Malaysian ship named MT Bunga Laurel. They control the ship and take the crew hostage. In that high-risk operation, Arman was forced to act with bravery under pressure and make quick decisions. Under his leadership, it reflects the true value of discipline, integrity, loyalty, and professionalism. For the second stage is to fulfill his duty as both leader in Paskal and provider for his family. Even though Arman appears strong and disciplined within his organization, he struggled emotionally to sacrifice long period away from his elderly and sick mother and risk his life to take on dangerous mission. One of his biggest challenges comes from a former teammate, Jeb, who has betrayed the whole unit. Arman's stake is not only to lead his team, but to navigate the personal pain of sacrifice, betrayal, and the weight of responsibility. Move to the second of the main stakeholder, Muhammad Zarif bin Zarfuddin or Jeb. His stake one is to regain his dignity and take revenge of the system that abandoned him. Jeb was once a trusted, loyal, and skilled member who served proudly in Paskal. A painful incident happened which resulted in the death of one of his teammates, Joshua. The higher-ups simply acted like nothing happened and he started to think that his sacrifice was meaningless. He felt unappreciated, neglected, and slowly lost trust in the organization. This led to emotional pain and a sense of betrayal. After that, his stake is to gain wealth and power through illegal operations including armed seizure. Apart from his revenge, Jeb is also driven by greed to make money. This is shown in the final part of the film. Jeb is revealed to be the mastermind behind the all-rig hijacking. He works with a group of mercenaries and criminals. He uses select training to fight against the Paskal unit, and he also does not care about innocent people his former teammate as long as he gets his desired. If his mission is failed, then he will lose everything, including his freedom. Now I pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Athirah. Now, some of you might be wondering who is the hero and who is the villain. Well, let me introduce you to our hero, Tuan Arman bin Rahmat, a true leader. He fearlessly guided his team and risked everything to see mission through the end.
On the other side, as we all know, the villain of our story is Jeb. He is portrayed as a traitor, a man who chose personal gain over loyalty, putting the lives of innocent people in grave danger. Next, I will pass to the next presenter.
Now I'll present about ethical dilemma. Arman is hero in this movie. His ethical dilemma between duty and family. Whether he should prioritize his duty to protect the country which put his life at risk, or stay safe for his mother's sake who fears losing her son. Arman is about to leave for a dangerous mission, but his mother is worried and begs him to stay. However, reluctantly, Arman decides that his duty to protect the country is more important. He tells his mother that he has to do so because that was he signed up for as part of Paskal. So, Arman's duty to protect the country wins over his desire to stay safe with his family. Now, Jeb's ethical dilemma is between forgiveness versus revenge. Whether he should forgive and move on from his anger, return to his old values, or continue his path of violence and harm others for personal gain. Jeb has the chance to end his criminal actions, but instead of choosing to forgive and let go of his anger, he doubles down on his anger. Jeb fights against Arman and the Paskal team to show that he is willing to harm others for power and revenge. So he chooses to remain on the path of the violence even though it will destroy him.
Now I'll be talking about the villain's actions based on teleological point of view, focusing on Jeb, who, as you know, is the antagonist in our story. Now, let's break down his actions. Firstly, hijacking the oil rig. This act is unethical because the harm caused far outweighs any possible benefit. Even if Jeb's personal goals were to gain power or seek revenge, the result was fear, danger, and disruption, outcomes that do not benefit society. Secondly, taking innocent people as hostages. This is also unethical. Hostages are used as tools for control, but no greater good comes from it. Instead, it creates fear and puts innocent lives at risk. Again, the harm heavily outweighs any potential benefit. Lastly, betraying Paskal and his country. Jeb's betrayal causes more harm than good. Even if he thought he was seeking justice, his actions led to chaos, danger, and the weakening of national security. His motives driven by revenge, not by the goal of helping others. In summary, from a teleological point of view, Jeb's actions are not ethical. His goals and choices do not produce more good than harm, and thus he stands as a true villain. Next, I will pass to Balqis.
Thank you, Batrisyia. Moving on to the next discussion, the deontological analysis of hero's action, focusing on Arman. First, loyalty to his team and code of conduct. Arman consistently remains committed to his national duty. He leads high-risk mission, placing the safety and success of his team above his personal well-being. His decisions are not driven by emotion, but a strong moral code demonstrating the deontological principle of duty first. Next, duty to serve and protect. Arman rules emphasizes national service over personal interest. His action reflects a strong sense of moral obligation as he prioritizes duty even when facing personal danger. His approach is grounded in responsibility and ethical duty, not personal gain. Alright, next point is no compromise with terrorists. Arman refused to negotiate or surrender to terrorists as he believed that giving in to threats is intrinsically wrong. He maintained justice and national security as moral absolutes, showing unwavering dedication to ethical principles even when short-term compromise could have saved lives. Finally, upholding integrity despite pressure. Despite emotional pressure from his mother after the death of a comrade, Arman chooses to remain in the force. He acts from a deontological perspective, fulfilling his duty regardless of personal emotional cost. This highlights his incredible moral strength and commitment to principles over personal comfort.
Thank you. Now let us proceed on if I were in the villain's shoes. What ethical action based on the golden rule would I have taken if I were in the villain's shoes? Now let's get started. Golden Rule basically is about promoting reciprocating the way we desire for ourselves, which is imposed the consideration of humanity. Let's say if I were the villain's shoes, which is Jab, I would treat others the way I wanted to be treated with dignity and compassion. The idea of innocently due to personal reasons will be very egotistical and unacceptable. For example, Jab has treated the workers of shore lease by putting them in a period, threatened with the bombs and guns as hostages to actuate the government. The fact that I don't want my loved one to get mistreated, I should don't harm others too. As human beings, we shall come faced with manners, as Jack might have faced when he felt unappreciated and betrayed by the Paskal system during his duty. He perceived that he was treated unjustly and didn't receive the reward as he wished. Even so, to grab this matter, if I were Jack, negotiation and harmonious solution will be my priority, and never choose violence approach to handle the unfairness. In my point of view, if I want to be heard, then my personal resolution should be contemplated. Next, besides Arman, Jeb is also the top strongest soldier in the team. We say Jeb has a very well-known knowledge and the power to protect the country or the citizens from any harm instead of mistreating them. If I were in his position, with my military skills, I will never terrorize or even betray the units that have trained me, and instead use my skills to help, protect, and guide. As if the situation shifted, it will be definite for me to seek protection from the soldier itself. Hence, to have a healthy wisdom of community, we should have solicitude and empathy within the society and so the country is at. That's all from me. I'll pass to you for the next presenter.
Hello Safirah, I am speaking from the perspective of the villain in the movie Paskal. A man once served with pride but now lives with deep hurt, remorse and shame. I feel an overwhelming guilt for betraying my brothers in arms. They were more than just teammates, they were my family. We trained together, fought side by side and trusted each other with our life. But I turned my back on them and that decision haunts me. Every time I remember the look of confusion and pain on their face when they saw me on the opposite side of the missions, my heart sank. I betrayed the very people who would have died for me, and that guilt is something I carry every single day. Secondly, I feel deep remorse for putting innocent life at risk. In the movie, during the hostage situation on the oil rig, I was part of the very threat I once promised to fight against. I saw the fear in the eyes of innocent people who had nothing to do with war or conflict, and yet they become victims because of my actions. I used to protect life like that, but in that moment, I became the source of their terror. I regret every second of it. And finally, I carried a heavy shield for using my skill to harm instead of protect. I was trained by the best. I was part of Paskal, and it was meant to defend the nation and uphold peace. Everything I learned, every skill I mastered was supposed to serve a higher purpose. But I twisted it. Instead of using my strength to survive, I used it to cause pain. I turned the tool of protection into weapons of destruction. And every time I think of that, I am filled with shame. Thank you, that's all from me.
So now, we're almost at the end already, which is the conclusion. Through Paskal, we learn that loyalty, courage and the choices we make define us. True loyalty means standing by each other, not only in good times but especially in hardship. Courage isn't about the fearless. It's about pushing forward even when we are afraid. And every choices we make can either build or break the people around us. This story reminds us that with unity, determination and integrity, we can face any challenge and become better version of ourselves.